Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wealth and Wellness Network, the show that empowers women to reach their greatest income potential using wellness practices that promote prosperity. My name is Letitia, and I am your Wealth and Wellness host. I go by La, and I have the lovely Lalanya, my co-host. Lala, what's up, girl?
Hey,
Good
good
morning.
morning. I'm ready to take it on today.
That's right, me too. And I'm really excited because we have a dynamic businesswoman joining us today. She specializes in personal branding and fashion. And come on, girls, who doesn't like to shop? I mean, come on. But before we get started, I just wanted to talk a little about something since we're going to be talking about fashion and our brand and image. I wanted to kind of talk about what that is and what that looks like because most of our audience are entrepreneurial women, and it's not something that necessarily is really discussed when it comes to women in business is our brand and what that is. And a lot of times we talk about the sell and how to attract more customers and things like that. But a lot of times when you hear about marketing strategy or growing your business, it doesn't really seem, at least I haven't experienced that in my journey, but it doesn't really seem that we talk a lot about personal branding. So let's clarify what it is by talking about what it's not. Okay. Um, so when when we talk about personal brand, it really has nothing to do with what you're selling. So, for an example, I went through my own personal brand when both myself and Lala start working on Wealth and Wellness Network. So people knew me as being in the dance fitness world. I had a dance fitness company. I've been dancing, doing musical theater, and ballet, jazz, modern, hip hop, you name it. When it comes to dance, I did it. So that was kind of my brand. And anybody that knows a little bit about that field or just fitness in general is more of like a young, hip, quote unquote type of brand. It's all about staying young. But when you start to transition to finances, you have to mature a little because people are putting their hardworking dollars in the hands of someone, especially with me being a young entrepreneur. I had to really mature my brand, so to speak. So it didn't matter the fact that I was licensed in life insurance and was working on my investment license. I had to mature myself, my brand, so then people felt comfortable. So when I had something to say, they would listen. You get what I mean? So,
Mm.
it's the same thing, I'm sure, with you, Lala,
No, mine's the opposite. I need people to see
I
that
know
I
it's
am
the
vibrant
opposite.
and younger. That's right. Jumping
It
in
is the
right
opposite.
now. That's all right. 4 kids down the road. I'm gonna rock that. I'm gonna do it right
Right.
now.
That's right. But you created that brand,
Yes, yes.
you're a mommypreneur. So you had to create this brand so then people saw that, oh, I want to work with her because she gets results. And you had to
Hmm.
create that. But
Absolutely.
it wasn't the fact that obviously you knew how to work in the gym and lift weights, or the fact that you had access to these phenomenal plant-based um, products. You had to create your own brand. You
Hmm.
get what I mean? So that's what we're going to talk a lot about today, is creating that personal brand and how it should be a part of your marketing strategy and your sales process.
Hmm.
Because honestly, when people buy into whatever it is that you're selling or whatever that you're featuring or highlighting, they're buying into you. It's all about who you are, because people buy from others that they like, know, and trust.
Hmm.
So I'm so delighted to have on the show today someone who is an expert in personal branding and social media strategy and how to really get yourself out there and promote yourself in a beautiful light. So, with that said, I am so excited to announce that we have on our show, all the way from Toronto, Canada, Rashi Bindra. How are you this morning, Rashi?
Hey girls, I'm great. How's everyone over there?
We're doing awesome.
Awesome.
We're doing awesome. We're so happy to have you in the studio today. Just to give everyone some background, Rashi is a social media and project management consultant, and she has a background in business and finance. I'm sorry, business and fashion, also finance as well. She's familiar with finance. She also is the proud founder of Pearls and Sequence and dedicates herself to various fashion events throughout Canada and the US. She also was nominated for the 2015 Nobia CA Award in social media and served as an advisor. I cannot speak today.
You know, it's Monday morning. It's early. So everybody, I just want to give a disclaimer right now. The tongue exercises she usually does before she starts the show. She neglected to do so today.
Oh my goodness! So let's revamp that. So let's go back. So
Reel it back.
This is important. This is like such an achievement. She was nominated for the 2015 Nobia.ca Award in social media and served as an advisory member on the board of Startup Fashion Week Toronto, among many other projects. She is phenomenal. I'm so excited to have Rashi on the phone today and joining us live. So let's start by telling our audience why you're so passionate about helping women unleash their power by executing a powerful personal image. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you for having me. And well, like to be honest, I think I've always been passionate about helping women, and um, I've never been one of those girls, you know, growing up where you kind of compete with your peers and your colleagues. It was for me more so somehow I got a sense of satisfaction when I saw women who, or even like well at that point girls even who wanted who knew what they wanted and they went out there and they got it, or the ones who like defied the norms and what society expects of them. And I think that's because we spend such a huge chunk of our lives being told what to do and preparing ourselves what we are supposed to do. Like we are supposed to get married at a certain age. We are supposed to have kids. Those are supposed to be our main aspirations. But I think we have so much to offer the world. And if we just, you know, kind of change our mindset and actually realize that if we are together and we support each other, I mean, we can do it all, right? Like we can be those entrepreneurs or those women, whether you have a job or whether it's your own thing where you can balance it all without feeling pressured and doing it at your own terms. So I think that's why I there's something about that entire achievement process that really excites me, and I love helping women who want to get there.
I love the collective. And I was thinking too about being true to yourself, right? You said we don't have to fit into a box or fit into what we think, or maybe society or culture has said this is what we need to do. You know, really being true to yourself and being that collective energy that helps everybody. And that's awesome that at such a young age you already had that sense about yourself.
Well, I mean, I never really fit in. Like growing up, I never had those, you know, group of girlfriends where we had, you know, sleepovers and we, you know, had like girls' night where we like did our hair and stuff like that and like went out and stuff, because girls never really wanted to be my friend growing up. I just did not, I was not able to do the whole like, this is Miss Popular and I'm supposed to speak to her in a certain way, or I'm supposed to be a certain way to get their attention and to fit in. I just always kind of stood out. So when you do that and you kind of just see how everything revolves around it, you're like, but why are we doing this? Like, why is she being so mean to me? For what? And when you look back, it's like to get attention from a guy, to the teacher's pet, and where is this leading, right? But when you start helping women and without any expectations, and you see how far they get, and then they kind of realize that, wait a minute, I got to where I wanted without having to hurt someone, especially a woman in this process, I feel a lot better about myself too. And I think
Mhm.
that's the cycle of change
Mhm.
and the mindset that we all need to get into, which is hard. It's happening, but it's not happening as fast as it should be.
Absolutely. It's so interesting because I chuckled because that actually hit home for me. I never really had that group of girlfriends or, like you said, the sleepovers and things like that. I actually hung out a lot more with the guys, and I always had these
Mhm.
challenges and fights, if you will, with other girls growing
Oh
up.
my God,
So
same
when
here.
so it was so interesting when it was heavy on my heart to work with women, and I'm like, why? I don't even necessarily understand what that dynamic is to have like this women's support group, if you will. So oh my gosh, that hit so much. That hit home for me so much. So let's talk about that. Why do you think that? I mean, you mentioned the why
Mhm.
behind, why that kind of happens, but can you talk about how women can get over that hump and really start to enhance their own visions by helping other women?
Well, I mean, you know what? I think we need to stop being insecure about ourselves, and we need to stop wanting validation from others. And it's very hard. It's very hard because any culture that you look into, right? We at a young age, we are taught to be girls. We are taught to be that we are told, yes, you know what, do whatever you want till a certain age, but after that you need to be able to take care of yourself because you have to be a mom, or you have to find the right guy, or you cannot be too independent because guys don't like it, or why are you helping that girl? Like, why is she looking prettier than you? You need to get there, right? But the only way you can get there is by putting someone else down. And if you really look, and I mean, I love women and men, of course, and being the whole like feminist in the true sense. But the one thing I think I've picked up and learned from the way guys are is that no matter what happens, they always have each other's backs. They can, go out with
Hmm.
someone else's girlfriend. They can beat it out with each other. But at the end of the day, they'll say, hey, you know what? Let's go to the bar, grab a beer, and let's move on. And
Mm.
we don't do that. We hold grudges as if it's World War III, and and we get very personal very quickly, and we all feel that we are better than each other, and we're not there to help each other, which is very sad, which is actually really, really sad. And now I find that when you hear the whole, like, we are women tribe and we're there for women, a majority of it is still very fake. It's still very like, because it's the marketing trend right now, we're gonna do this. Because when you start talking, when you start interacting, when you start being in life situations, and which does help you towards your goal or your business, then you truly find out which girl has stuck by you, right? Which girl has like accepted you, and no matter what you're going through, she is pushing you out there to make sure that you get to your goals without any expectations. So the problem is our mindset and the way we have been taught,
Hmm.
right? So mhm.
Let's kind of talk about one thing you said that really stood out because I was recently reading an article. Lala and I both do a lot of research and reading of books and things and seminars and workshops, so that way we can better deliver and bring the best, our greatest self, and help other women because we have the knowledge and have the tools and things like that, the research.
Mhm.
So I was reading this article, and please forgive me because I'm unaware of the correct source, but it talked about why women struggle in their careers, and it was talking about the differences between men and women when it comes to their professional life. And it's said that women have a problem because, like you said, our insecurity. But with guys, they utilize their networks, and we don't
Mhm.
do that. We're so competitive and insecure that we don't utilize each other. So I wanted to talk about how you're helping women to build their personal brand through partnerships and through expanding their network.
So any project that I take on, especially if it's events or like fashion shows that are geared towards a certain community, or it is to have a certain purpose. My team, majority of them or almost all of them are women who need that opportunity and chance. So one example being last year, I was told for the Sri Lankan community in our little area to produce a diverse fashion show,
Hmm.
because and they also want to know women within their culture to kind of be involved and showcase their talent. And for me, I was like, of course I would love to do it. It's exactly what I would love to do. And I'm not even Sri Lankan, by the way, but still, for me at that point, it wasn't the fact that what my background is, it's the fact that these are some talented women out there that nobody knows about, or they don't know how much
Mhm.
talent they have. And I ended up having a team of about 60 women, models, designers, hair, makeup artists, volunteers, whatever. And they didn't even realize how much fun they had doing something like that. And from there, they started building their own networks, which is exactly what I wanted out of it, right?
Mm.
I didn't want like women there competing with each other, and everyone out there got to know each other. And I still have the chat group where all the makeup artists and hairdressers still communicate after a year. If they see a date or they see a posting, it is posted in our chat group, and they're telling each other, hey, who's free on Saturday to come and join me? This is the amount, or you know, um, who wants to do this photo shoot with me? And that is what we should be doing, right?
Hmm.
So that's a way to start kind of getting women involved with each other and being very clear that, listen, I don't want women here to compete or, create some sort of war zone. I mean, I still have people who are like, you managed 60 women? I'm like, yeah, why is that so impossible? And that's the thing, right? That is the perception that like groups of women are hard to work with. Groups of women have to deal with their kids and this and that and all those things, right? No one seems to realize that women, if they're just given that platform and they're treated like an equal person, that they can really just balance it on their own without too much of inconvenience to anyone, and they can really do a lot of amazing things.
Hmm.
So
That's awesome. That's great. She said something very key that Lala and I are really big on because we're creating community. That's the whole purpose of Wealth and Wellness Network. It's not just
mhm.
to so for Lala and I to just be on the show and you hear our voice all day long and to toot our own horns, but it's really to create that sense of community. And you talked a lot about just realizing your potential. So can you talk a little bit about, because like we mentioned earlier, most of our audiences are entrepreneurs or small business owners that are women. And can you talk a little bit about realizing your potential and how you need to personal brand yourself so then that way you can grow your business? Can you talk about that?
Of course. So I mean, the way I see it is that if you if you have a skill set or if you have talent in, let's say, 5 things, one of the things I recommend, especially for women, because we are very emotional and we are very passionate, and that does resonate in what we do, is to pick, one thing to begin with and really perfect that that talent or that service or that skill set, and not to worry about what the rest of the world is doing. And that's where our competitive, mindset comes in. That so to kind of keep all that away and just focus on harnessing that skill set, and then bring out your personality. It does, and it's very hard because we do live in a world of social media. We do live in a world where everybody certain number of followers, and everybody wants to be out there and be the first person to you know post something really cool. But if you keep all that stuff aside and really just kind of highlight your own personality traits, that does become your personal brand over time. The type of events you go to, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself. Like I love makeup. I am not a makeup artist. But I love dressing up when I go out, or even if I go to meet someone, whether I'm wearing jeans or and a hoodie and a pair of Converses, I will have my like eyelashes done. I have my lipstick on. I have contoured if I feel like it, and people know that. People expect that of me, and I do it because I love it. I don't do it because I'm insecure about how I look. But that has become part of my personal brand, and that's the same thing for women and small businesses out there. Is that what you like and the art, and embrace that in your journey, and that will resonate, and that's how you will stand out, right? But being fake and being like, okay, so I cannot post this because as much as I love it, it's too real, or no one's gonna care. It's not gonna get you anywhere. So that's one thing I really really kind of um, coach women on when they do come to me for their personal brand is first focus on that one thing that defines you in terms of a product or a service, and then your main personality traits, right? Like bring that out. Like everybody's selling something. They don't need to see that on your marketing stuff. What they really want to see is who you are,
Mm-hmm.
but be authentic about it,
Well,
right?
we all
So
feel
yeah.
that, right? When people are authentic, we get that it comes across in such a different way. You feel relatable. It's an instantaneous thing. And I think as women too, we're more in tune with our intuition. I think many people have
Mm-hmm.
intuition, but not everyone is in tune with it. And women tend to have a little bit more connection with it, and some women have incredible, connection. But you do really feel that authentic personality, right? When you see them, it's almost like you feel like they become your friend, like you know
Mhm.
them, yet you don't know them,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
That's awesome. I love
that's
it.
great. So let's talk about how you managed to win the 2015 Notable Award. Tell us a little bit about that and what you're doing with Pearls and Sequins. I love this. I wish it was here in the U.S., but can you kind of touch base on that? And
Hopefully soon. So I was nominated for the 2015 Notable Awards in social media. I didn't win it, but for me, just being nominated was like a huge thing because I had recently started, um, from a business perspective, the whole pearls and sequins. I mean, I'd been doing this for a very long time. I just kind of started making it formal in 2013. Um, so the fact that I even got nominated, I was very shocked. I was like, I'm in a pool of these incredible social media strategists, in a pool of incredible digital strategists. And then especially when you are in that group of people in Ontario and Quebec,
mm,
and I think it was fun. You are just you start putting expectations on yourself, and sometimes that's a good thing because it does challenge you to kind of reach the next step or the next milestone, or to start thinking what is next now. I mean, being nominated is huge, but now going above and turning point for me and how I wanted to take on projects, what type of projects I wanted to take on, and the type of um, people that I wanted to deal with. Because like all businesses, you will meet people that do end up wasting your time, and then you'll meet people
mhm.
who really do need your product and service, right? So how to kind
Right.
of like tune that and how to start saying no, because we get very excited and we say yes to everything, and then we get overwhelmed and we sometimes have more, right?
Especially
So
us
that,
women.
mhm.
My goodness.
Oh yeah,
Always saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
we're always saying yes because we always feel we have something to prove, right?
Mm.
And in true in like we don't really have anything to prove except for ourselves. Like if this is a goal you want to do, you doesn't matter what your sister thinks, your mother thinks, your best friend thinks, right? I mean, at the end of the day, this is your goal, this is your achievement. You have to handle it. So that being said, being nominated for that was a turning point, and it allowed me to say no to a lot of projects that were coming my way, but I also didn't see the value in them in
Mm.
terms of the level that I wanted to be at. And I like challenging myself. So that really helped. And in sequence, I mean, we have a branch in Montreal, so we are doing specific events over there, not too much, just again because Montreal is a smaller city, but at the same time, for what we want to achieve, or what I actually want to achieve, I have to then be very picky with what I do. Now, and then, in Toronto as well, it's all about social media. It's all about networking. It's about events. It's about helping startups understand how to manage everything. So that's where the project management comes in. And for it's these two cities, hopefully, and I have done a little bit of freelance work in the States, but there is obviously a lot of opportunities in the States as well, which I am looking to explore. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's phenomenal. So excited. Cannot wait. And Lala and I would definitely love to help you expand it here in the United States.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Oh,
So can you tell our
I'd
listeners how
love
they...
to work with you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll work on it. So stay tuned. A Wealth and Wellness Network exclusive, ladies. I'm telling you.
Bring it.
So can you tell our listeners how they can learn more about you and what you're up to and your brands?
Honestly, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I don't really encourage Facebook a lot because I'm rarely on it unless I have to promote, a project that I'm working on, or I need people to subscribe to the events and things like that. But to really, I guess talk or to ask questions, you can follow me on my personal Instagram. It's RRASHIB, or my professional Instagram as well, Pearls in Sequence, or just send me a tweet, a direct message. I am always constantly checking my social networks, so I will respond. So,
We'll
yeah.
be sure to add those outlets in our show notes. And that is so amazing, Rashi. We're so excited. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for
It goes
today.
quick. It goes quick.
Wasn't that quick? Oh my gosh. And that was such good information. And we're
We
definitely
appreciate
going
you so
to
much.
talk about how we can expand and work together, because it really is about networking and helping each other out. That's what we're all about here. So thank you so much, Rashi, for being on the podcast today. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much, all the way from Toronto. Rashi, Bindra, thank you
Thank you,
so
ladies.
much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And make sure, ladies, that you go and follow her on Instagram, tweet her. We'll have that information in our show notes, so that way you can get some tips and learn a little bit more about how you can enhance your personal brand. And for past shows, please visit wealthandwellnessnetwork.com, and you'll see some of our previous shows. So we'll join you next week and every Monday morning, as we usually do, at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, have a productive week. Lala and I cannot wait to see you next week.
Have an amazing week, everybody.
Bye.